Okay, so we know that Mailchimp are bringing out some tools, and they sound really great, the tools that they're bringing out to help us with GDPR. But I have a feeling they're going to be a while till they're here. So if you want to get a head start, this is a way that you can send out a resubscribe, a consent email to your list. So on here, I've just created a test list. I've got my personal email, because obviously I'm already connected to another one. And I've got Tracy, who's our admin, on here. And I've already practiced this. And the reason you can see this is because I've already practiced. So you can see here, I would like to stay subscribed, GDPR, a yes and a no. Obviously, I've just done that for Tracy. I've just kind of added it so we can see the example. So from here, we would be able to create a segment and then view the segments. And from there, we can tick the boxes and click delete. So we know that that part of the process works. But how did we get this here? Actually, it's pretty simple. So we've gone to manage contacts and you can add a group. Now, I've already got the group here, but I'll show you how I did it. So I went in groups, I've done as a drop down. I've given it the title, I would like to stay subscribed, GDPR. That is not the best title. Please don't use that. I will be looking at the wording that we need to use, but right now, simply, that isn't GDPR compliant. It was purely for test purposes. So you're going to put your GDPR wording in here, and then you're going to have a yes or a no. You could be fancier. You could have, I would like to stay subscribed. I don't want to stay subscribed. Whichever you want to do, that's absolutely fine there. And then you're going to click save. And it will pop you a little, I'm going to cancel because I don't need it. You're going to click save. It will give you this here. And from there, you're going to go to campaigns and click new campaign. I'm going to show you the one that I've already done. I've done a copy of it so we can kind of see into it rather than having to do it all again. You don't want to sit and watch me have to type everything in. So you can see I've done this to send it to this list with just the 2 recipients. I've personalised it because I could. It says who I am and who I'm from. You then will need to give it a title. Again, this is a test and that's a test title. And then if we look at the actual content, we can see I kept it very simple because it was a test. It just went to me and Tracy. And again, Tracy, I gave her my instructions in there, which is what it was all about. If I just click on this, okay, so basically I've put these words here. We need to have GDPR consent wording. We need it to cover everything that we do, the reason we've got their information, what we're going to do with their information, how they can get in touch with us and change or check their information if they want to. Whichever parts of GDPR we want to put into here, we put into the email. But this particular link is how they're going to consent and opt in or not. Now, this is not a perfect method. It isn't, as you can see, there is no yes or no button in here. It's not quite that simple, but it isn't far off. So basically what we've done is I've created a link. So if I go to here, you can see that the update profile is there instead of a web address. There's no URL in there. It just says the update profile. I'm going to leave that as it is for the moment. And the reason for doing that is when this email gets sent, it creates this link that when somebody clicks it, oops, not on that one. This is how it's going to look when it appears in the browser. You can see it's there in my browser, in my Sky inbox. But when they click this link, what it does is it opens up. Well, there you go. It's not happy with me doing it from here. So let me see if I can do it from there. There you go. So from the email, you can now see it keeps the email address. It keeps the first name, last name if it was there, if you'd got it. It actually shows with a blank section here, which really annoys me. So you need to make sure this wording is great. You've covered everything in the email and that this wording does its job, because as you can see, this is a very plain, boring page. There's nothing else on here at all. Okay, so at this point, we want to click yes, and we want to click update profile. Now, some people will unsubscribe from here, and that's great because they've done the job for you. But if they click no here, those are the ones that we need to go back in and remove at a later date. So this is what we're asking them to do. Once they've done that, I come back to view contacts. I close the segment. that's when we'll see this. So you'll know anybody who hasn't clicked the link, who hasn't said yes or no, so we can chase them up afterwards. But you've also got this. So basically we can create a segment, and you can go to groups, one of yes or no. Choose those so you can look at your segments later. So I've already saved them as segments. So if I go here, if I want to go look at the yes people, I can see great that they've opted in. And then if they've said no, we're going to click that box and we're going to hit delete. Okay, so we can see that that's what's going on. Something that is worth doing, let me close that segment for the moment. This is something that is well worth doing if you have had people have already unsubscribed from you in the past. At the moment, Mailchimp has kept that information. So what you can do, if you go to create a segment, email marketing statement, untick subscribe, untick unsubscribed, preview segment. I haven't got any here. It is just an existing list of a test list. If you'd got anybody who'd unsubscribed now, they would be showing here. You can save that as a segment. If I do that as unsubscribes, you can do this for your list, and then when you click on view unsubscribe as your segment, you can go through the delete there and fully remove them from your list. You need to do that because obviously they've previously unsubscribed, so they will won't be sent any emails out that you're getting, but at the same time that information could be hiding there, so you do need to do that. There's something else I'm going to show you. So yes, one of the things we need to be able to do is prove where people have come from and what they've done and all that kind of good information. This that we're doing now, Mailchimp track, and the way we can see that is by downloading the information. So I downloaded this before just to show you. So you can see, if I scroll all the way over, this is if you wanted to change a supplier for your email list, you'd need to download everybody and move them to the new provider. Well, this is the download process. So you can see there's an email address, there's a name, no other details, so I'm not trying to collect them. But this is the group that we created, and we've got a yes and we've got a no. So that's the answer that they've checked. So we can see that, and we know when that happened and the time as well. Okay, and it's there as well with the confirmed time. So Mailchimp will be keeping that information and making sure that you can access that information when and if somebody asks to access their information from you. So it will all be there, it will all be done, but right now, that's it. That is the best way that I know right now to easily send out your ReConsent email for GDPR, because you can see straight away we've had a reaction. Now, the only caveat to this, in fact, if we go back to this, you will see that I've done it. Tracy didn't get the email before I sent it out. So one of the things that I did is I went in and I manually added it to her. But as you can see, the confirm IP address is the same as mine. I did this one through the email, but this is the one that's showing up for Tracy. So if need be, you can see where it's come from. So do not go in and edit these. So basically, if I just show you, if I click on Tracy now, it takes me into her account. You can see this is a new account, and I set it up today just for this. Okay, but you can see that on groups, I can go in and I can edit, and I can actually change her answer to yes if I wanted to. Obviously, that's very naughty. You're not going to do that. Don't think you can get away with it, is what I'm saying, because obviously on that download, it keeps track of the IP address. So you can see it's changed there, but Tracy's done nothing, I have. I suspect that means that this is not a perfect system for GDPR proof, but actually it's probably more than enough for where we need to be right now. As I say, just by seeing that this IP address, the confirm IP, is the same, it's suspicious. If you had a load that looked like that, then obviously you'd get looked at. If you'd already been looked at, then that would be seen as being ultra suspicious. So don't go changing that information. I did it just for this test. I wanted a yes and a no showing for the video, and I was impatient. And obviously Tracy, well, she's admin for the group, so she is staying. She isn't trying to go. This purely was a test, but otherwise I wouldn't have done it. Okay, so any questions, please do get in touch. It's using groups and creating a group with a drop-down menu with a yes or a no. So people have to actively select something. They have to make a decision. They have to choose. And it's when they've made that decision that you can go on and make those changes. Okay, I hope that helps. Bye.